Abraham, I've waited a long time to be here, and it is a joy. My question is, everything in my life is going very well. When it comes to the area of relationships, I asked the universe, and
if your life is going really well, why do you care about a relationship?
Because I feel that I want to have someone to share my life with.
Good. So what you're saying is, when life is really, really good, and I am attracting someone into an already really, really good experience, then it gets really, really gooder?
Yes. Yes. It's like I want to connect with someone that is in the same vibrational harmony with me. I feel it's so wonderful that I wish I had someone there with me.
We just want to give you this one little insight that is not little. It's really big. Every relationship that everyone wants is because there is a chance that that other person, in their connection to source energy and in their adoration of you, will be a catalyst to help you connect with your own source. That's what being in love is. That's that feeling of in love. Somebody holding you as an object of attention and adoring you. And in their adoration, they connect with source, and in their attention upon you, they flood it all over you. So it's sort of like a roundabout way to connect with source energy. It's like they just draw your connection from you. What we want to say is, as you practice your connection with source, no matter what, with a partner, without a partner, no matter who you're with, under all conditions, as you keep reaching for the relief and therefore bring yourself into greater and greater, more constant connection with this source energy, now the reason for the relationship really becomes what you've just said. In other words, you say, here I am, mostly connected powerfully to source energy, and now, universe, please bring me another like that, so together we can open an even wider vortex and soar even into greater ecstasy. Most people, even though they're using words like you are using, are really saying, well, I'm not soaring yet, but that would do the trick. In other words, that's the one missing link that would help me to soar. We were visiting with someone one day, and she said, my son has wanted a mate for so long and hasn't been able to keep one. They keep breaking up. Can you help him to find someone now? And we said, actually, it's a very good thing that he's not finding his life partner now, because if she came now, she'd be just like him. In other words, law of attraction brings you what is a vibrational match. And so it's ever so delicious when you can have done your work so that you are in love with yourself. In other words, you got your source flowing through you before you attract your partner, because then you do soar immediately. There's no acclimating, no lifting of one another that needs to be done.
I have to say that for a while I was in a deep state of depression. Through listening to your tapes, attending your seminars, there has been a shift in energy. Something has changed where now I know that he is coming. I know it's going to happen.
So if the universe is going to bring to you someone who is a real vibrational match to who you are, you ready now?
Yes.
You're ready now?
Absolutely.
So how would you feel if we told you it was 2 years away?
I would have a question.
But how would you feel? How do you think she feels? Which means you're not ready. In other words, if we say to you, you're in the perfect place and your partner will be there in exactly 2 years, and you were to say and really feel, well, that'll be the perfect timing. So now I have 2 years of happy anticipation and 2 years of enjoying my singular experience and 2 years of enjoying all of the other aspects of my life. Then we would say, then you're ready, and it would take 2 minutes. But when that disappointment comes over you, that's still in your vibration, which means that if the partner were to come right now, it wouldn't quite be where you want to be or where you want the partner to be. And see what happens. This happens to a lot of you. You set your vibrational standards for a partner but you don't match it yourself. And until you match it, that partner can't come. So what does show up are those who match where you really are, and they keep not measuring up to your image. This is good, isn't it? Yes. So you have to match your own image vibrationally. So the game we would play if we were standing in your physical shoes, it's a process we call scripting. We would script it into being. Esther saw a movie on the television many years ago. The screenplay writer or someone, she came in the middle. She never really understood the whole plot, but he seemed to have this magic typewriter. And whatever he would type for the storyline, for the pretend life, would then begin happening in his life. So if something would happen that he didn't like, he'd just write it differently, and then it would happen differently. And Esther said, well, wouldn't that be nice? And we said, that's exactly how it is. If you accept that you're calling the shots and you begin writing it, then as you begin seeing the evidence of what you've been writing showing up, then you begin to gain more confidence.
And the problem is, like, sometimes I feel really good. I feel like I'm in alignment. And then, for example, here comes Christmas, here comes New Year's Eve, and here comes Valentine's Day. It makes me a little sad because I don't have that significant.
Well, that's what we meant when we were teasing you and saying you're not quite ready, because as you have those things that activate easily, what that's saying is your awareness that he isn't there is still strong enough that he can't get in. And that's why we were teasing you. And when we say he'll be there in 2 years, how do you feel? And you feel a little disappointed, then you aren't quite ready. And so you want to just play with your script and enjoy the idea of what's coming so much that you are patient in allowing the universe to arrange the perfect circumstances. All of you have had experiences where you thought you wanted something and you thought you saw an avenue to make it happen, and that avenue fell through. Maybe it was purchasing a house or a car or finding a partner or any number of things, a work environment. And then later, a door opened that was perfect. And you realize if that other thing had happened, then I would not have been available for this. And so as you say, the universe knows what I've been asking for, because even without my words, I've been expressing it through preferences and vibrations for a long, long time. And now my work is about preparing myself vibrationally to let in what I've been asking for, which means I got to be happy in the absence of it. And that's the thing. In other words, we would say to a sick person, you got to be happy while you're sick so you can get well. And they would say, well, if I were well, then I'd be happy. We say, no, you have to be happy even when you're sick or you can't get well. And they say, but I can't be happy. I'm sick. And we say, but you got to find something to focus upon that lets you feel happy more of the time or you can't get well. If the illness isn't very severe, then you don't worry about it that much. You are distracted from it. You do other things, and eventually it peters out because the wellness is a stronger vibration. While there are some who have an illness, they get focused upon it. The doctors focus upon it. It becomes the only thing that they really ever think about, and the illness overtakes them, not because it is powerful, but because they find a vibrational match with that, you see. So sometimes, especially on the subject of relationships, we've been accused of just wanting you to get so happy with your fantasy world that you don't care if your partner ever really comes. And we say, that's exactly right. You want to get so happy about life in general, as you said, so many things going well, and so happy with the idea of what's coming, and so comfortable in your knowing that it is coming that you don't feel any sting about it not having been there. And then say to yourself on Valentine's Day or during those holidays when partnerships are amplified, say to yourself, the universe has something very special in mind for me, and I'm willing to wait for this perfect relationship. And on Valentine's Day, go buy yourself whatever you would have liked to have received and put it on the table and write the script. In other words, isn't this sweet? This is 1,000-pound box of chocolates. All for me.
I went to the mall and I tried on a 1-carat diamond solitaire ring, and the lady says, that looks absolutely beautiful. I said, my husband's going to be here next week. He's going to buy it for me. She says, bring him in, bring him in. So I was in that moment.
That's the ticket.
I have 2 things. I want to thank you, and I have a suggestion. Have you ever thought of AbrahamSingles.com?
We set it up centuries ago.
The law of attraction.
Law of attraction is the most powerful search engine.
Yes, absolutely.
Imagine yourself sitting at the computer, and this is what your searches look like. Gorgeous man, missing man, in the same search. Committed person, tardy person. In other words, with your computer work, you know that you don't put opposites in your search. You put in what you want and you expect the search engine to turn it up. But so many people in this vibrational search engine say, I want it, where is it? 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 And when you say, I want it, and these are the reasons that I want it, and ooh, it feels so good to want it. In other words, your desire has to feel good to you before you're in the receiving mode. When your wanting doesn't feel good, you're blocking it as much as you're wanting it, you see. Desire is supposed to taste sweet, like it did when you were little, before somebody convinced you you couldn't have what you wanted. Remember that feeling of wanting and absolute belief that you could have it? Do you remember that feeling?
Yes.
Of absolute knowledge that you could have whatever it is that you want? Well, that's how it is. Good.
I have one last.
She keeps promising one more.
I see myself happily married. Do you?
Yes, we see that much more clearly than you do. Much more clearly than you do. Because we've gathered every piece of every preference that you've ever offered. And we do not see it a long way away. And we do not see a great deal of vibrational adjustment necessary in order to bring it about. But the fact that you're asking the question means there's some work to do. In other words, you'll bring them because you want, and they will be in vibrational harmony or they won't come. But you will make it happen through the clarity of your desire. Yes. Let it happen. Better words. You will let it happen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.